today we are in Barbados, and this is our first excursion on this cruise, so we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a train ride, a trip to the waterfall, and also I believe a distillery, if I remember correctly. We had to change our tour last night. I guess they didn't have enough people on the first tour, or maybe too many, but either way, this one is going to be right up our alley as well, so pretty happy with that. Well, let me tell you, getting off, we didn't even get our passport stamped. They take our photo basically leaving the ship. We got to tag our ship cruise card on a little pad so that we're accounted for. They know not to leave us, or that we're maybe late or missing. So it's very well organized. We did not get a stamp on our passport for this trip. So, and maybe that's the way cruise lines work. I am not certain. But yeah, very friendly, very well organized. This is pretty amazing. And we got a bus ride actually to this entry to the other tour buses, so that was perfect because it was sprinkling a bit when we were disembarking off the cruise ship. So and we didn't have really good views coming off the ship, but we'll get those ocean views soon enough. This is our tour bus. Awesome. It's a small group.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Guys, now we're out of that area. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Barbados on the way up to the Abbey. I'm going to give you a little history about this little island. Okay guys, first of all, the island is 21 miles long, 14 miles wide. Got approximately 269,000 people on the island. Island gained independence back in 1966 and began our independence from the British. Island was only ruled by the British. That's why we drive on this side. Now here on the island, ladies and gentlemen, one of the first things you're going to notice, you're not going to see garbage knocking all over the place, because we are very strict when it comes to littering. Anyone caught littering on the island is a maximum fine of $5,000. So people adhere to that, and that's what you will see. You're not going to see garbage knocking all over the island, guys. Here in Barbados also, guys, we are some of the longest living people in the world. We live extremely long on this island. Reason being, 3 things contribute to that. 1, we eat lots and lots of fish on this island. You get fresh fish every day on the island.
The mangoes are on the tree.
Okay, where was I?
There's some horses back there.
Now, guys, now as I was saying, we are some of the longest living people in the world, and I give you the reasons for that. Now, let me just give you some of the ages. Two of the longest living people that live on the island, a lady, she was 110, and gentleman, he was 113. At present, right now, we got lots of people on this island. That's 101, 102, 3, 4, 5, those kind of numbers. We've got a lot of centenarians on this island, guys. Lots of them. It's kind of becoming a problem now because our people are aging and we're not multiplying. But I don't think that's a Barbados problem. I think that's a world problem. I think most people now are having less children. And obviously because it's not cheap to raise a child these days. It's expensive, so I totally can understand that. Back in my grandparents' days, they used to have 12 and 15 kids, my grandparents. In my parents' days, they used to have 6 and 7. Now, it's 1 or 2. Okay, doesn't ever go over that. So, like again, we were at 285,000 people at one point on the island. Now we're down to 269,000. Those are the numbers we are at now.
And they give and
We love
take
these
and
roundabouts because they work 10 times better than traffic lights. So we know before roundabouts here on the island, and these were introduced to the island by the British. Yeah, these traffic lights were introduced by the British. Okay, so everything basically on your left and your right is all part of our university, and our university is called the University of the West Indies. There are 3 universities combined in the Caribbean as one: Barbados, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. And these 3 universities are called the University of the West Indies. Everything on your left and your right is all part of the university. Our university accommodates about 15,000 students, and here on the island, university education is free.
Nice.
Healthcare is also free on the island, guys. So you pay nothing for healthcare, and you pay nothing for university education.
But your taxes,
Yes.
they have that.
But our taxes are very, very high. But the locals, we more prefer to have high taxes and pay nothing for our education or our health care, because we can go to any of our government facilities, medical facilities, and we can have whatever problem, got to get whatever operation, whatever the case may be. We don't have to pay for any of that. So we prefer it that way because we know if we had to pay for health care and education, it would be 10 times higher than the taxes we are paying. So our taxes are very high, but we don't have a problem with it. Now, one government before what they had done, a previous government, the government before this one is in now, they had decided to make people pay for our university education. When the election came around, every single one of them were voted out. Everyone. So we have a one-party government now. We don't have an opposition right now on the island, because everyone was voted out.
Wow.
And this government came into power and they take back off the fees. So that was good for us.
As long as they stick with what they promised.
So far, so
You
far,
got
so
no
good.
problems, right?
So far, so good.
Fair enough. Yeah.
fast developing area on the island. What government had done in our capital, government wanted the city to remove the bonds out of the capital. So what government had done, they had sold a lot of this land. I hate a lot of those business people, hoping that they would just move the bonds up this side. But what some of these business people decided to do, they decided to also bring some of their business up in this area. So they have been developing at a rapid pace up here, ladies and gentlemen. It's only a matter of time before it becomes a town. Okay? Now the island has 4 towns. Oystingstown, Old Town, Bridgetown, which is the capital, and Spikestown. Those are the 3 towns on the island. All this area is called Warrens. And also, some people have also built in it, so there's a lot of middle income houses and stuff like in this area. Now, one of the things you're going to learn about Barbados also, ladies and gentlemen, this island has no mountains. It's a very flat island. We got a couple little hills, but that's about it. We have no mountains on this island. The highest point of this island is a place called Mount Hillaby. We couldn't ascertain if it's a mountain or a hill, so we call it Mount Hillaby. And that is 1,158 feet high. All of these are middle income homes that we're going into here, passing here. Now here on the island, one of the things that government does for us here on the island, government provides homes for low income persons. And when I say provide homes, I don't mean they give them to them free or anything like that. You gotta buy them. But obviously it would not be a big home. It'd be for one that's poor. You got low income rental and you got low income ownership. I'll try to show you both of them as we go around today. Now the reason for that, guys, well, there's 2 things. Government provide work for low income persons also and homes. Now the reason for that, ladies and gentlemen, is that most of the crime that performed by anybody around the world, most of the time it's performed by poor people. So to avoid that, and I talk about regular crime, I'm not talking about white collar crime, like for millions and that kind of stuff. I'm talking about someone that will what you have been doing, probably kill you for nickels and dimes and that kind of stuff. So government trying to make sure that that doesn't happen, or that does not happen on the island. So government does. Government provide housing. And as you would know, if a man can feed his family, he doesn't have a reason to go and do crime. So we should think sorry. They can stop a little sudden sorry. So if a government can save a person from performing crime on the island, it helps a lot. Now one of the problems we had here on the island, ladies and gentlemen, is that guns. We've had gun problems on the island, and this is a problem throughout the entire Caribbean. It's a big problem in the Caribbean. And we have been wrestling with the United States in all types of ways to stem the flow of guns that come into these Caribbean islands. Now here on the island, we got some strict laws where guns are concerned. If you are caught with 1 bullet, guys, you can do about 10 years in prison. 1 bullet. If you are caught with a gun, you can do 25 years in prison. Okay, so we are very strict for our gun laws down here. And it have been, and like I said, it's been a big problem throughout the Caribbean. Quite frankly, and what happened is the little gangs and stuff that you got, that's where the problem will come in, especially when they can get guns in their hand. Now we had our fair share of it, but our government seems to have it under control now. They don't hear about any shootings and that kind of stuff anymore, because our government had bring a whole heap of new laws since that, and all that stuff had basically had calmed down on the island. The problem is a lot of these guys that were doing the shooting, Barbados, if you look at it, the island is 21 miles long, 14 miles wide. Where are you going to run to go? Okay? So it was really stupid, I must say. right here or this house would cost you about $250,000 US. But if I take you down that side now, you'll find the same house but it'll cost you about $2 or $3 million. So it's just the area. Now all of this here, guys, this is all golf course right here. And this all belongs to a hotel down on the water. And that hotel owns 3 golf courses right here, 2 18s and a 9. It's a huge property, it runs all the way there. Huge property. And I'll show you that hotel and I'll tell you about that hotel when we're coming back up. And then that hotel now is also looking for more property to build another hotel. We've got a lot of hotels on the island. I should say that because one of our biggest problems here on the island is not having enough hotel rooms. So what our government has recently done, several hotel companies are going to be starting, some already start construction, some will be starting next year. But we're going to build about 6 or 7 new hotels on the island. And mainly brand new hotels. Yeah, so that's going to be coming, so that will help us here on the island with occupancy. Because that's a major, every winter season, that's one of Barbados' major problems. So the government is currently doing something about it. Yes, we have a fantastic bus system on the island. And despite you don't see anyone living up around here, a bus still comes through. Now on the island also, you're not going to see a lot of bicycles or motorbikes. People on this island like cars. So you know what I mean? We have a lot of rush hour time. Everything moves slow because there's lots of people that like cars. Most people like cars. Yeah, we're currently still in the wet season. That is going to finish the end of this month. The wet season is from June to December. The dry season is from January to June. Now the island is divided into 11 parishes, ladies and gentlemen, and all 11 of those parishes carry a Catholic name. The island is also very, very religious, guys. Very religious island, so like on Sundays, almost everything is closed on this island. Sunday is the one day you get a well-cooked meal on this island, because everyone is at home. All 11 of those parishes, they also carry a main parish church. Now this would not be the only church. Right now we're in the parish of St. Thomas, and this will be the St. Thomas Parish Church. Now we got tons of denominations on this island, ladies and gentlemen. Tons and tons of denominations on this island. So in other words, we got a lot of churches, a lot of religions, all that kind of stuff. Now the main export in the early days, guys, our main source of income right now is tourism. Before that, the main source of income used to be from sugar way. That's not how it works. A bill comes at your house still for garbage. As long as you own a home or you rent an apartment, you're gonna get a bill for garbage.
Find anything.
Pardon me?
Not find anything.
They'll find anything. The government collect tons of money in taxes on this island. All this land that we're going through here, ladies and gentlemen, this is mainly agriculture land. And here on the island, we got some rules where land is concerned. We're not allowed to take agriculture land to use it for development or anything like that. Agriculture land can only be used for agricultural purposes. And the reason for that is because Barbados has to have itself in a position that anytime something happens in the world, the island has to be able to maintain itself. Okay? That's one of our main reasons. Now remember I told you that government provide housing for low income persons? Let me give you an idea, show you what some of those houses are like. Now obviously I can explain it before. They're small houses, they're not big. Some will have 1 bedroom, some will have 2 bedrooms. So if you look to your right, you'll see some of those houses coming up. Now how government does it is that when they give you this house, after you finish paying for it, you can add to it also, guys. So you can make it a little bigger after you finish paying for it. Okay? So look at all these houses. And as you can see, some people already added on to them to make them bigger. Or they come small like that. So you add on to it afterwards. So you can make a pretty good size house. Check this one at the end. It's been a big house. Now if you look to your left, that's a $1 million development over there. Now those houses will start you at $1 million over there. So you've got different developments for different people. That's low income, that's $1 million. And I showed you some middle income earlier back when we were first coming down. We speak really fast and we cut off a lot of the letters off the words and stuff like that, guys. But it's the same English, because we only speak English. Okay, guys, so let me explain to you now how you're going to be doing this. You're going to go do the train first. Then the train is going to take you down to the house. Now when you leave the house now, guys, you're going to walk, because this is where we got to park. So you're going to walk and come back up here. This is where we'll be parked up here. Okay? So some of you are going to get a little bit of exercise today. They're going to make you come all the way. Sometimes, like if the rain is falling, sometimes what they do, they ask us to go down to the house and pick you up. But they don't like us to go down by the house, okay? So that's why they do it that way, to make you walk back.